Now, I'm not too big on Valentine's Day, so I'll start this off with a very simple hey. And I hope all is well and you've had a good week, regardless of the weather and it being so bleak. That's not saying much because you were probably on the couch, but you fine as all outdoors even when you in the house. But that's besides the point. Well, kinda, not really. And if you couldn't tell by now, I can be a bit silly. So anyway, I was thinking since we're in the same city that you should get out the house and spend the evening with me. Now, if you have plans and can't kick it with the Harris, how about bowling next week? I won't be embarrassed. But if you are free and down for the cause, well then goddamn it, here's a round of applause. We don't have to roam the town walking all arm in arm. But after all, this too is my city, and the second time's a charm. Waffle houses are good and simple, and I don't need much. And I know some fancier spots too, but we'll have to go Dutch. So we could do a whole lot, or really not too much. But if you're down to have some fun, well, that makes two of us. It could be for an hour and a half, or maybe three or four. But I've seen your smile enough times to want to see more. Like I said, I'm not too big on V Day and picture perfect dates. So hit my line with a call or text, and let's get the details straight. Pick you up around 8?
Oh, that's
Ah,
so cute.
yes, let me like that. Let me like
Oh, happy Valentine's Day, guys. This episode is going to come out on Friday, but
that. But as you can see,
I hope you guys had a good Valentine's Day.
I know, right? Got some flowers. I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Real cute.
People who say that this isn't any business of the President of the United States.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to 20 Somethings. I'm your host, Desiree, and I'm joined with.
Kyra Korchak.
I'm going to tell you a fact for the day. So
Okay.
here's our fact. You know how you get fingerprints?
No.
So a person's fingerprints are formed when they are a tiny, developing baby in their mother's womb. Pressure on the fingers from the baby's touching and their surroundings create what are called friction ridges, the faint lines you see in your fingers or and toes.
Okay. So they're just like in the womb, like,
Yeah. So like when they're pressing against your stomach and you feel them, they're
wow,
creating their fingerprints.
that's cute.
It's so interesting. I didn't know
Wow.
that.
The more you know.
I know, right? So now let's get into the main portion. The question I wanted to ask you is brain fart. Okay, the question I wanted to ask you was, can a person who treats you well be bad for you?
Can a person who treats you well be bad for you? It's a little, I think a lot of these kinds of questions may depend
Mm-hmm.
on the situation, but I mean, generally, you want to say, how could they be bad for you if they treat you well? But depending on the situation, maybe it could be bad if they're treating you well.
Get closer to the mic.
They're treating you well in a situation where that might be harmful.
I believe you're correct with it's situational. For toxic people, I think that person does not treat you well at all. Like if they're like I saw this on Twitter. Basically, what she was saying was, "Oh, he cooked for me, he cleaned for me, he brought me on dates every week, but he was controlling and emotionally unstable. Like he would lash out type things." And I'm
Okay.
like, did that person really treat you well though?
Yeah, that's
like
what I was gonna say. Well, is that being treated well if you lashing out and all of that?
Exactly. And I said that. And so she responded with, well, societal, in a societal way, I was treated well. I'm like, girl,
No.
fuck society, first of
You're
all.
saying in a material way, not
Yeah.
no societal.
Material way.
Like,
And I think people get caught up on that sometimes. Like, oh, this
yeah.
person does this, that, and for me, but they get so
They're
fixated.
misunderstanding too what
Yeah.
being treated well looks like.
Exactly. Being
Yeah.
treated well, I feel like being treated well means all aspects.
Yeah.
Like that's being treated well. And if you're not treating me well in one area the other way, you're not treating me well at all.
Right. And I know we're not all perfect. Like we all have our shortcomings and our flaws or our things that we're working on.
But there's ways to communicate that.
Yeah, usually me being treated well means that you are concerned about my well-being. You want what's best for me.
You take
whether,
consideration.
yeah, you care about my well-being and you want the best for me, whether that mean talking to me, giving me advice, giving me the hard truths that I need to hear, maybe not staying up late with me when I gotta get up, even though I might not want that night. But it's like in the long run, it's like, thanks, you're holding me accountable. Those are things that I think about. It's not really a thing that you get me. I mean, of course, getting things can,
It's nice.
yeah, and it can be a cool gesture, but
they're nice things at the end of the day. It doesn't it doesn't define you as a person.
Right. And I know some of us, that's our love language. We want to receive gifts, but is that what we're gonna base our family and our marriage on? Like how many shoes you buy me or how much jewelry? Like at some point you got to go deeper than that. It's like,
I think it also I think it depends on what you consider being treated well and what you consider being bad. Because I would say for a non-toxic relationship, I guess a person could be bad for you, but in the sense that you're incompatible with them. In the sense you're incompatible with them, or they're holding you back from where you're wanting to grow, and they just want to stay stuck in the place they are. And so I can see that. I can see it that way.
Yeah. I think we need to just get back to the basics. What is being treated well and what is not being treated well? Once we define that, then maybe we can have better conversations, because that just sounds crazy. Like, oh, he buys me flowers and takes me out to eat, but he cusses me out, and sometimes he yanks me by the neck. Like, girl. What are we talking about? Are you for real? You serious? And then you want to be fake deep about societal No,
girl.
You sound dumb. Sorry.
Girl,
Respectfully.
I literally, it sounded like she was trying to defend him not to come out, because she was like,
that's how I'll be too.
It was like mutual destruction, and I'm like, okay, I can get that, but the things he did, you were not being treated well. Like, be honest with yourself.
It's sad, dog. It's sad because a lot of us, we are still learning what being treated well is, and some of us have never seen it. Some people don't know what it looks like or feels like, so it's weird. It's hard to accept. It's it's a scary place when you are not familiar with what being treated well is.
I think if you're being treated well in general, you wouldn't consider if this person's bad for me anyway.
Right. Because, like, what makes you think that?
Exactly.
Like, what brings you to that thought if you're being treated well?
Yeah, I don't.
And it's not to say that you won't bump heads and have disagreements or parts, like, dark moments.
Yeah. But to say you're not being treated well.
Yeah.
And I just think being treated well and bad don't go in the same sentence. They're polar opposites.
Right.
Kind of hypocritical. Like, which one is it?
Especially if it's like, okay, he made a mistake last night and he actually kind of snapped on me. Okay, following that, what did he do? Did y'all talk about it? Did the behavior change, or was it swept under the... That's still a part of being treated well, because it's like, we're going to have our moments, you know what I'm saying? So,
but it's the actions you take after it, especially when, like, things become a pattern.
Right.
So,
yeah. Good question.
Yeah, because I had to ask Instagram. I asked one of my friends, like, because other people from Instagram were saying, actually, let me pull up the reply.
Did you come up with that question from a certain situation, or was that just something you came up with?
Yeah, it was, okay, so I already talked about on the previous episode the I hate you method, like going back to a person so you help them until you hate them.
Sure.
And someone asked, oh, does that I hate you method really work? And so, I of course linked the podcast. Like, don't do that, y'all. But also, I was going through the comments, and someone said, I think it does, like, but it just drains you mentally, and you have to be prepared for that. And sometimes the person can treat you well, but they're not good for you. But it's like, why would you put yourself in that situation still? Like, if you're aware they're not good for you, but you're going back.
And if there's a reason that you don't need to be over there, that man ain't treating you well.
Exactly.
If there's a reason why you keep going back and forth, there is probably, it could be you too, but let's be for real.
So the first response I got was, I was here before, she made me love myself again, but she did so much damage as well. And this person elaborated, because my response was, I'm sorry to hear that. If I'm overstepping, truly my bad. But if they caused significant damage, did they really treat you well?
Right.
And they elaborated. I'm not going to say what they were exactly talking about, because that is their business. But at the end of the day, I told them, like, that person did not treat you well at the end of the day. Like, I'm glad that you learned self-love and you were able to learn that. But that person still didn't treat you well.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have done that. Like
We gotta stop
how does it?
dealing with these toxic situations and then like defending them because it's just it's putting us
Yeah,
back, y'all. Come on, ladies.
yeah. It's the
We,
this came from
including
a
myself,
man.
we need to get it together.
This came from a man though, and so I don't know. It's really interesting to hear both parts, like of the defending of wrongful actions. Honestly, because you can be sympathetic, cool, but they still did not treat you well.
Yeah, and I get being understanding because you know this person, you know, better
Yeah,
than we do. But it's like, you know, let them take responsibility
yeah.
or just be real about what's going on.
I think that question also invokes like maybe people think about were they treating a person well too, but it's okay to admit that you didn't treat a person well, and to also admit that you weren't treated well.
Mhm.
Like it's not
Mhm. And then in
you don't have to
turn do
sugarcoat
the
it.
work to be better. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be an end all be all just because you used to have toxic ways. It doesn't mean you're just gonna be a toxic nigga forever. Like, make the choice. If you want to do better, be better. Let's do it.
Yeah, and if you don't want to be better, well,
Right.
bye.
Bye. Mhm.
Someone else said it really depends on you at that point. If they're doing everything they got to do, it's on you, not them.
And that's regarding, like, what's the context again? Can you? That's saying if the person that's not treating you well is doing the work and you're not.
I guess so.
Wait, can we go back now to the
Can a
what's
person who treats you well be bad for you?
right? And
It
then
really depends on you at that point. If they're doing everything they got to do, it's on you, not them. I
hmm,
think that just goes back to like, what do you consider being treated well? Because, or
and
what do you
everything they
want?
need to do. And what's on you? If they're doing everything they need to do, they're probably treating you well.
That's, I think that's what they're saying. I think that if you think maybe they're trying to say it in a way where it's like, I don't know, you get doubts, little doubts,
Hmm.
or you know how some people are like stable in a relationship, but they're always curious on what's on the other side. Maybe
Right,
it
right,
could be
right,
like that.
right. Mm-hmm.
Like you're being treated well in all aspects, but I don't know, maybe you want more.
Okay. Or that thing where it's like, okay, this is the perfect man. It seems like he does everything right, but
Mm-hmm.
something
Something's
is
not right.
missing,
Yeah,
something about the chemistry or our connection or our intellectual conversations. It's not quite there. And yes, in that case, that can be bad for you because it's kind of you settling for something that you think is right, but deep down, you're not listening to that voice that's telling you deep down, like, hey, nah, this ain't it.
it's also not fair to the other
Yeah,
person.
it's not fair to either one of you. And yeah, in the end, you're just gonna get, or over time, you'll just get more resentful until you're at the altar, like, what the,
Look,
what did I get myself
I
into?
I always tell myself like if it's a hesitancy, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
Hmm.
That's what I be telling myself.
So all that thinking about it, like, girl, what you think about?
Yup. So some people said these kind of coincide, but one person said if you want to grow and you're not growing with that person, yes. Another person said yes, they can steer you off your path, personal goals
Hmm.
and gains.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the last person said kindness is only one small aspect of a relationship of any kind. And that is very true. I mean, you can apply that to friendships, parent roles,
Yeah.
relationships.
Because you could be kind, but also not have the depth to have certain conversations, or you may not have great understanding or critical thinking skills. Just because you're nice and kind,
Don't mean
that don't
squat.
solve everything. What if I'm trying to get into the nitty gritty of how you had me fucked up last night, but you over
Mm-hmm.
here smiling and yeah, babe, like I don't want all that.
Bro,
Like,
you ever try to address something with somebody and they smirking in your face?
yeah, but
Oh,
and some people just have different dispositions. Some people might have a little resting mean mug, while
mm-hmm.
another person just has this.
Smiling, it's always
So even
happy.
when they're mad, they're just like, "Babe, you know what I'm saying?" So I don't know. See, that's an interesting
Imagine someone
conversation.
saying like,
Like, I wanted the words, babe. Like, what? I still like the other question
incompatibility.
better.
What?
This is such a broad, but also like it's a cool thing to talk about,
Mhm.
but how deep you gonna go on something like this? Like, is it really
Yeah, so
that dynamic to be
no.
like, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But
Okay,
I don't know. I think you still have some good conversation there.
the other take that Kyra's talking about is, can you be friends
Yeah, I
with?
want to talk about that.
Like, what I asked her the other day was, can guys and girls be friends, or women and men be friends?
You know my answer? Yes. What's your answer?
It's yes too. 'Cause I have guy
Okay,
friends.
Aries Queen.
Period.
And I know people are looking at us rolling their eyes, and some guys are like, "What stop?" And some girls are like,
I wish
"My
you
husband
would.
could never."
I know.
But like,
I think it's a green flag if men have
me
women
too.
around them.
Me too.
Yeah.
Cause like, who you talking to when we going through? Like, who helping you hold the mirror up? Who's giving you insight?
I think the only thing that's not good, like, I saw this one TikTok. This girl had a guy friend and he had a girlfriend. He called her about a problem. She was like, "Oh, she's jealous and da da da." Basically, her video was like, insecure men like jealous girls for this reason because it feeds their ego. And come to find out that the girlfriend didn't even know about her.
The friend?
Yeah, didn't even know about her. So, and the reason why she was jealous because you being sneaky. Of course, I wouldn't trust you either.
And let me back up too, because there's a difference between a friend and a friend.
Mhm.
Your little friend. You know what I'm saying? And I think
I think
that's
you
the
could,
first part about it.
I think you could assess the energy too.
Yeah. And I think it's you know, knowing what a true friend is, knowing if it's a friend that you are attracted to or you could possibly see yourself being with, or if it's like a friend that's like family, because I
Mhm.
think there's a line, you know, there's
There's-
the friend that grew up next door to you that
I literally have a
yeah, that you know your parents are cool, even if there was a little moment in your childhood that was like, oh yeah, but you know there's that friend
no.
who's like the bro, and then there's the friend who's like, yeah, my friend fine as fuck, and I would tap that.
To all my guy friends out
Which
there.
is, you know, that's something else. But when you talk about friends, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I don't know, like all my guy friends. First of all, they rude as fuck. Like they be roasting me like my brothers. I don't appreciate that shit.
Right. I don't know. That could be a form of flirting too. Like, and I am aware that, especially as a woman, I run into a similar problem with having this outlook on being friends with people,
Mhm.
where you know my guy friends start to like me, or you know
Yeah.
get feelings, or maybe try to make a move on me,
I had to
or
cut off one of my guy friends for that.
yeah, and I don't. I try not to get too upset about it because I think it's a human nature kind of thing. I mean,
I think it's natural
yeah,
too.
I think it's natural. I've been friends with somebody and had certain thoughts like, what if? I think that's just human nature. But the part that usually gets me with my friends who I'm genuinely loving as friends, the ones that start to resent me because they have all these ulterior motives and
Mm.
they're getting, you know, their friend
They have
zone.
expectations.
Yeah, and it's
that
like,
you're
because
like, I
then
thought I
it
was getting a
reveals,
friendship.
yeah, and then it reveals the fact that girl, he was just trying to fuck. And I get it. I know it might sound naive or whatever, but I just think that there is a time where you can have a friend that ain't really stunting you like that. You know what I'm saying? It's rare. You know, is it something that's not that common? No, but I don't think all the guys that I'm friends with want to.
Fuck you.
Maybe, you know,
You said
but I don't
maybe.
know. I don't think that, and I know the guys might be like, "Shit, girl,
Yeah.
stop."
I don't
But
think
it's
that was my guy
like
friends because
I have friends that, nah,
no,
yeah,
I just think it would be awkward. And plus, I've known them for so long. Like I've known my guy friends since elementary school, middle school. So we just went across that. For my newer guy friends in my life, like they
yeah,
got girlfriends, and I just nah, like that's a genuine friendship in my opinion. I don't know about their side, but remember that one guy friend I had? Man, I was dressing masculine at some point in high school, so I'm like, this my dog, be cool. Started dressing feminine again, and I got a boyfriend. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, I got a crush on you." I was like, "Fuck." My
Mhm.
boyfriend was just
It's
saying
hard
you
to be
sus.
fly and cool
Bro.
and cute.
Yeah, but I had to cut him off because I'm like, nigga, you know I was single. Why didn't you come to me before this? And like you,
Some people, I think it just slaps them upside the. Some people probably don't even be trying to like you, and I get that too.
yeah, but why you knew?
Maybe he
I
didn't know. Maybe he was
he
trying to
did.
deny it.
No, he did. He
Oh,
did.
he told
did.
you.
I just remember thinking like, bro, he waited until I had a boyfriend, and then we were like just strictly friends. Even we would hang out. Even when my boyfriend and I were together, he would come to the house. Mom was cool with him.
Mhm.
It was whatever. And he called me one day, and I was like, bro, you know, I got a boyfriend. My boyfriend was just talking about how he's sus about us because he doesn't genuinely believe that guys and girls be friends. And this nigga was right, and he didn't even meet your
Yeah.
ass. Now you just proved him right, and I can't be your
And
friend
maybe
no more.
maybe that's what it is, and we just don't understand it.
I think it's so sad that sometimes people do have alternative motives and expectations that you don't even want.
Or that you don't know about.
Or
Or
you
the
don't know
worst
about.
thing is, I'm sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
I was just gonna say, like, it sucks for those girls who just like want a genuine friendship with a guy. Like, nothing's wrong with that because you have a different perspective. Like, it's different
Yep.
having a guy friend from just hanging out with a girlfriend.
Yep. And
And
I always
so-
I grew up around guys, and
Same. So
You
I
know.
feel comfortable around
Yeah.
men. So that's nothing new. Like,
I
It's-
grew up around girls too, but I had a lot of experience just being, what's the word? Just being hated on or being picked on. I can't even say picked on. People tried to pick on me, but it didn't really
didn't
succeed
work.
a lot. 'Cause it was just like
I
half
feel
of the time my dumb ass didn't even realize I was being picked on because I was just in my own world. But
Oh,
also, I just didn't care.
That's
so
what I was gonna say. I didn't care.
Yeah, I think naturally it made me kind of like, let me just go hang out with these niggas and play 21 since these bitches is being weird. And then as you get older, you notice that it's like, I don't need to be around a bunch of catty women when I could
No.
have a few male friends. I can have female friends, but it's cool to have both.
I like having both.
Perspective
I think,
is cool too.
yeah, I think I remember having like just one big friend group. We don't have that big friend group anymore, but I think being able to be friends with both guys and girls, like,
Yeah, I think it's healthy.
that's healthy.
Especially like imagine getting married.
I was just thinking that. You were like the same way.
And then it's like, it's me and you. Like, imagine having the same one fucking male friend forever. Now that is harmful. I don't care how well you treat me, nigga. Like, I don't know. It's like you can't be my everything. Like, maybe you can, but I don't know. Maybe we're just modern women.
I think what comes down is like boundaries, like,
yeah, for sure.
especially when
And trust.
Yeah, trust, especially when you're dating someone.
Mhm.
Is that I asked two of my guy friends, can you be can girls and guys be friends? Because we're friends. He's like, I don't think you can be friends with someone you're attracted to. And I was like, that's interesting. I think attractions.
You just grow up and have some fucking self-control. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
you know
'cause,
how many
like,
fine-ass male friends I have? And I would be lying to be like, they not attractive or I'm not attracted to them.
I'm not gonna be like, you ugly. Like,
Yeah, like I'll
like-
tell my friend, I'll tell them they fine. But it's like, in real life, would I want to date you or what?
absolutely
Probably not. You
And
have
the
things that I
that
don't like about you that if I was dating you.
Heavy
But
on
if you,
that.
as a friend, you cool. But
Heavy on that,
You
because the
know?
things they be saying and doing, I'm like,
yeah,
got that.
I think just that in general too, we need to fucking
I
let our
don't-
balls hang again. Like everybody is so uptight and so sensitive and so want to nitpick everything and overanalyze and write a book. And well, Steve Harvey said, "Look, man, I don't know.
That's
I
so
don't want to be
funny,
cooped up in the house with one man."
Because
And
when he said that, I'm like, well, you just gonna have ugly friends.
right.
Like, no offense, but I want my friends at my wedding. They can't.
I just think too, like, as I get older too and I date and I have like men friends and like I talk to them about things they go through and whatever, it's super therapeutic to have a female friend that you can kind of confide in
Mm-hmm.
and get perspective in. Like I have a really close friend who she has the guy in her life, he doesn't really have guy friends or anybody that he can really
Relate to.
open up to
Mhm.
for a lot of things. So she's a lot of things for him too, which is cool, but it can be really exhausting because
Yeah,
it's
that is.
like, damn, I gotta not only this is just an example, not her, but it's like, damn, I gotta be with you. fucking consult with you, give you advice, listen to your shit. I don't know, maybe that is what marriage or a union is all about.
I
But
think
it's
it is
like,
at a certain extent.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
for me, I was in that situation before, even though I'm not married, have never been married, but I felt like I was a therapist for this
Hmm.
man.
Yeah.
And they, of course, don't want to talk to their male friends about things like that. They
Yeah.
don't really open up.
Hmm.
And so I was that everything emotionally for that person. And I was fine, but it came to a point where it's like, okay, nigga, you shouldn't be telling me this shit. Like, you need
Yeah.
to talk to a therapist.
Yeah. And yeah, it gets to a point where it's a little too close to home. It's like,
Yeah.
you need some other resources, even if it's like your female therapist. That can be like, I know that's not technically a friend, but
Shit,
you
I
know,
consider
that,
my
that's like
therapist
your
borderline a
friend.
friend.
Yeah, once y'all start kicking it over a certain amount of time, it's like, I know everything about you. Like, shit,
Might as
naturally,
well.
like, that's your homie. That's your big homie. Like, so, I don't know.
It's
I
your
just,
big sister.
yeah, I just think we need to relax. Like, I know you don't want to give your person too much freedom. Like, oh, have friends, because that can turn into something else. But at the same,
You need friends
balance
outside
it
of
out,
a
bro.
relationship, because I feel like I can have my partner, but I also want to just have a friend outside of you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we probably are kicking it less now that I'm
Mm-hmm.
with you, but I still want to talk on the phone with him. I'm still gonna want to, like, well, how's your life doing? Like,
Yeah, and again, boundary, because it doesn't mean you got to talk to him every day.
No.
Or it,
I
it
still
does
don't
get
talk to
to a
my
point
friends
where it's
every
like,
day.
all right, now I know that's your homeboy, but come on, bro. Like,
or vice versa.
yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
I got a good guy friend that he's happily, I don't know if he's married or not. He's basically married, 2 kids. His wife is beautiful. Like, I love their little family situation. I've been knowing him since high school, and we're both in the music industry, and we talk. He's like a mentor, a brother. He's been doing this longer than me, and so I ask him a lot of questions for advice. And he's able to call me, and we're able to sit on FaceTime for 30 minutes. She
Mhm.
might be in the kitchen
You be like,
while we're
hey.
talking shit. Yeah. And I love our relationship. Like, his kids are my little nieces. They're like, hey, Auntie Kyra. One of his daughters has my birthday. So it's things like that. And imagine if his girl was like a super just insecure, or like she didn't allow that. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they will be fine, but I think it says a lot more about your relationship with your family when you're able to have, a sis that you can call or talk to or say, hey, happy birthday. Or every now and then we talk on the phone and shoot shit. We're not talking every day or every week,
Yeah.
but, when I
think
hit
that's
him, he
just-
can answer and we can chop it up and, all right, then.
It's just adult life
Yeah,
too. Like, sometimes
it's
I
adulting.
don't talk to my friends for like weeks. I do not want to talk on the phone every fucking day.
Right. And
I'm not doing that.
that's a little problematic too. If you
That
with your
is.
man and he sees you talking to John every day, it's like, okay, so
I am not doing
I know
that.
that's the homie, but you know.
Yeah, I would feel some
Yeah.
type of way if they were doing that to a girl,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. But again,
Correct,
boundaries.
because I know I'll be like, oh, I'm cool, but I'm still a woman, and I would probably feel a way if my man had a friend that was a little pushing those boundaries a little bit and maybe
Yeah.
around too much.
I think, guys obviously know what guys they can see before we can see. But it's like us with girls too.
Yeah.
We can see that shit before guys
True.
can see it. So
Yeah, and I think another good point is when your friend is also involved with your partner, or when you can be open with both parties and it's cool. It's like, hey, whoopty whoop, about to come kick it. Is that cool? Like, oh yeah, tell her to come over. It's like, that's a different dynamic when your friends become my friends.
yeah.
It's still your friend, but when it's like, oh, where's Tasha at? Like, tell her to come for this. Like, I think that's a cool, it's a beautiful thing because we're grown, we're secure, we're confident.
I hope hopefully most of us. I don't think it's like a what you call it. I forgot the
Black
word.
and white thing.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Like it's
Situation.
different strokes for
Yep.
different folks.
Yep, and it depends on the friendship. It depends on the parameters of the friendship. It depends on
Your partner.
the nature of it, and your past or your character, or because you could be we can be talking about somebody who's a number one playalistic Usher. And but even at the same time, Usher could just be one of those charismatic guys who's flirtatious, but that's all it's gonna be. It's like, I would never.
Yeah, that just
know what I'm
happened with Alicia Keys. Apparently, they
Yeah.
never dated, never
Yeah,
had anything.
I mean, I don't think that's what I get from
He's
him.
also a performer.
I was just gonna say he's a true performer.
Yeah.
And he's
Dude, there
Usher.
was-
He's been in show business since he was fucking
I
8
just,
or whatever.
it's so interesting because like people on Twitter are like, "Oh, Alicia Keys is a hoe," da da da, da. And I'm like, so
That's funny.
you know that Usher is aware she's married, right? So what does that
And
make
you know
him?
that Swiss was probably right in her green room cracking up, having a great
Exactly.
time.
And
Like,
then and then he came out on Instagram and was like, "Y'all doing too much."
Yeah.
You saw that post?
yeah, I did.
Yeah, someone screenshot that post on Twitter. He was like, y'all women like to emotionally gaslight us to make it seem like shit cool. I'm like, nigga, we regular people. This above our tax
And
bracket.
also, you're projecting your fucking creepy, perverted ass mind on us because we can do a little and be like, all right, bye.
Exactly.
Y'all the ones that gotta go fucking rub one off because I fucking let you do the prom pose with me. Like, fuck out of here. Nigga. Like,
Like,
I
I
don't
did my
know.
job. I got paid.
Yeah.
Shit cool.
You-
We did
you-
our one.
you showing too much, bruh.
Okay, so we're going to get on with our Am I an Asshole post.
Okay.
Are you ready for these Reddit stories?
I'm ready.
Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my friend that the real ick is her personality?
Damn. Why the fuck is that your friend?
This is why
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
an asshole, ho. It's like, well, I don't know. The real, like her whole personality or like parts? Like, we just gonna
let's see.
jump out the gym, huh?
This is why I was like, this is going to coincide in what we were talking about. Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
an incompatibility.
It's an ick.
Yeah.
Your friend? Like your friend of the opposite sex?
Nah. It's just,
Your
they're both
homegirl.
girls. Yeah.
Why are you kicking it with her? That's what I would like to know.
Maybe she gave her too many chances.
Why were you ever her friend if you don't like her personality? Like, how do you make friends with people? You think they cute and you like their shoes, so now that's your homegirl?
I think you can be friends with people, but sometimes people change over time.
Okay.
So maybe it's like that.
Okay, good point.
Okay, so let's go into get into the story.
That was a good one to start. 'Cause what the hell? What are y'all talking
Three
about?
for your loop.
Yeah.
Okay. My fiance Leo, 25 male, and me, 23 female, just got engaged after being together for 4 years. The proposal was magical and I couldn't be more in love. We decided to throw an engagement party. It was a small gathering, his family, my family, and a few of our close and mutual friends. My friend Erica was also a big part of this party. Her parents are close friends with mine and Leo's family. Erica is a part-time influencer and has a considerable following on TikTok. And she says in parentheses in the 100Ks.
Mm-hmm.
Her videos can be considered the typical videos on TikTok you see. Get ready with me's, fake story times, shopping hauls, etc. She's also a major trend hopper, and you best believe that the second any trend emerges from the depths of TikTok, Erica's the first one to hop on it and make it her whole personality for a month. And what's the new trend on TikTok? Icks. And who has hopped on it? Erica. Her account has over 20 videos of her talking about icks in men and new icks she's discovering. Now onto the problem. She shows up at our party, phone ready in hand to record and post. We knew this would happen, so we had a no phone policy because we wanted to spend quality time with our guests. We made sure everyone was okay with it, and since there were only around 25 people, they all were. We reminded Erica of this. She sulked and pleaded, but we were firm, and in the end, she did end up keeping it away. Me and a few friends, including Erica, were sitting at a table and talking, and she, within the first 5 minutes, brought up her last date, which she ghosted because the guy had a girly birthday. May 22nd.
I ain't never heard no bullshit like that. I'm sorry. Keep going.
My fiance's birthday is also the
Ooh.
22nd.
Does she know that?
She's
Like, how close is she? Because if she's being shady because she couldn't do her little TikTok bullshit.
That's
Okay, sorry.
fucking
Keep
funny.
going.
She said his birthday is also the 22nd of May, and I told her that because I found it funny. She made a disgusted face and said, "Ew, I could never. That's so weird."
That's why you're not getting married,
Right.
loser.
That made me a little angry, and when she saw that no one was amused, she started awkwardly laughing. Now we're all joking and having fun before this, yes, but does she get to come to our engagement party and call us weird? No. So I replied by saying at least I was engaged, and all she could do was get first dates, which who knows how long they'll last considering how shallow she is.
Period.
She defended
Tell
herself.
her, friend.
Right? She defended herself saying that she couldn't help what her icks are. I told her I can't help what my icks are either, and her personality was giving me an ick, and to
Oh.
leave. She started crying and left the party after calling me a stupid bitch who didn't even deserve to be engaged. That's crazy. My boyfriend and his family are on my side, but my family thinks I might have went too far and should have been more calm about it since it was a small thing. I think I'm in the right here, so am I the asshole, Reddit?
No. When you're getting married and doing all these celebratory rituals with friends and family and loved ones, and it's really about you. So I do think that it's your discretion. If somebody's making you feel uncomfortable, disrespected, if they fucking up your vibe, I feel like you have the right to excuse them.
Her friend has like no social awareness or couth.
Yeah,
Like-
TikTok is doing that to us. We gotta say no to drugs, y'all.
I mean, you can have
You
like
alright?
you can
Okay,
have
look.
an ick thing or whatever, but to go to your best friend's engagement.
Oh, best friend?
Was it best friend? Let me see. Nah, it's just friend.
Yeah,
So-
no,
but to go-
especially that
still.
you just the homegirl. Bye.
That's so.
It would have been
weird.
worse if it was a best friend, but I could even see trying to be forgiving through that because it's your close friend. But I don't know if I could actually. 'Cause
Even as a
it's-
friend, like
yeah.
25 people at an engagement party is still pretty small.
Yeah,
So
you
she
should
has to be
feel
somewhat included.
privileged to be here.
That's so weird. Here's the update. Firstly, I want to clear some things up. Everyone is asking why I'd invite her if I didn't like her. At the start of my post, I stated that her family is close with both our families. She's also friends with my friends. I also want to make it clear that I don't hate her and never had a reason before this to dislike her. When I posted this yesterday, this all happened a day ago, and I was still annoyed about it. She also already knew my boyfriend's birthday since she was also invited to our family birthday parties.
Mm-hmm.
This bitch is delusional. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I was going to wait for her to reach out, but after some convincing from my parents, I texted her first. I just went with a hi to see how she respond. She texted back, and I told her I shouldn't have been so harsh on her, but her comments just annoyed me considering she knew what the party was.
Mm-hmm.
She never apologized. She instead told me that I should be sorry and that I can have a friendship with her on her terms since I hurt her so deeply. This did piss me off, but I didn't want to make it bigger than what it was, and I told her that I didn't want a friendship and hope she does well in life. This irked her, and she blocked me and my fiance everywhere. My friends, though, are saying that she's now posting TikToks about her ex-best friend who betrayed her because
Oh
she
my
was jealous
fucking
of
God.
Erica. So at least she got a TikTok story time out of this fiasco. Oh my God, you needed to cut her. Ben cut her. Incompatible.
Yeah.
Toxic.
And that goes to show you answered your own question. Are you the asshole? No. Because through this small little situation,
Child.
she's showing her whole ass.
That is crazy.
Because don't get on here making nothing. Come on, bro. If you really my friend, we can talk about this.
Like adults?
Yeah. Don't make no TikTok video about that.
It's so weird. People are too comfortable posting shit
Mhm.
online.
It's
So-
really a problem, bro. It's really concerning. It's scary because we're moving into this age of, like you were saying, just no emotional intelligence, and all the connection is through this app.
Mhm.
And you can be looking at somebody dead in their face, and it's just like a fucking brick wall.
She's not
I
gonna
don't
be getting
I don't
married
connect
anytime
with
soon.
you. I don't feel you. It's just. But if I get online and look at your post, I'm like, I'm gonna post a comment. But it's like, damn, I can't even.
Talk to you.
Yeah, I can't talk to you. Feel your energy. Like,
It's so scary.
so numb.
Like, I know I want to be in the media and entertainment, but I could never imagine myself doing that to people I love or care about,
Yeah.
or even just like a total stranger. That like, I always want to say my please and thanks you. I think that's really where like
Mhm.
values come into play.
Yeah, it's
Cause-
it's sad that you even have to make these kind of rules. No phones, no this, because it's just like people don't know when
Right?
to have the discernment to put that shit down. Everything ain't that. Enjoy the look around. Enjoy smell,
Live in the moment.
touch, feel. Like
yeah.
it's scary.
Yeah.
sure.
Well, she didn't need her in her life. The
She didn't. That was
trash took herself out.
oh yeah, that was an interesting one.
Okay, so here's the second Reddit story.
Okay.
Now I guess you can say if they're incompatible or I don't know. But here's the post. Am I the asshole for not picking up my girlfriend's clothes off the floor?
That's it.
No, I'm gonna get into the story. I, 24 male, and my girlfriend, 26 female, have been living together for a year now. I love my girlfriend and I love living with her, But the only thing is, when she comes home for work, she strips and leaves her clothes on the bedroom floor. At first, it wasn't a problem. I didn't mind picking up after her because it was only just her clothes. Around 3 months ago, it started getting worse. She would leave her makeup everywhere and her clothes on the bedroom floor. It's gotten to the point where I was getting super annoyed, so I asked her if she could pick up her clothes and express that it's getting tiring to do it every day. She said she would while I'm at work, but when I work a late night and I came home, I saw that there were clothes on the floor. I told her that if she doesn't start picking up her clothes, I'm not doing it for her. So for the past 2 weeks, I haven't been picking up after her, and I do laundry every week. She asked me why she didn't have any clean clothes, and I said because she didn't pick it up, therefore I'm not going to wash it. She gets mad at me and asks that if she didn't pick up her clothes, I will wash it. And I told her yes. She got mad at me and we got into a fight over it. I communicated that it was fine at first, but now it's starting to bother me because I work nights while she works mornings, and it's tiring to come home to pick up after someone. She called me an asshole and hasn't spoken to me. What the fuck? She called me an asshole and hasn't spoken to me in 2 days. Don't they live together? Okay. She has since picked up her clothes, and I told her I appreciate it and that I apologized for not doing laundry, but I communicated that it bothered me and it felt like she wasn't hearing me. She's been very short with me since I apologized, but now I'm sitting here wondering if I'm the asshole. So am I the asshole for not picking up my girlfriend's clothes?
No, girl. No, boy. Sorry, I called you girl because you cleaning, doing laundry, picking up her shit. I'm not saying we got to do that, but I mean, shit. Y'all bitches don't even wash clothes, no? Okay.
The first thing I thought about was she definitely has ADD or ADHD. That's the first thing I thought of because I was like, sometimes it's really hard for me to pick up after myself. But I'm not finna double down if someone communicated to me the fact like I need to clean up after myself, and then they not doing it, and I start an argument with you.
Yeah, no, I'm like that a lot too. But guess what? I live alone.
Exactly.
So it's me, and it's if I leave a mess because I was rushing to go out to dinner and I'll put on 5 outfits because that's what I do. I'll be like obsessing about the look, and then I come home and it's like, what the fuck happened in here? Who was in here?
It's like a tornado.
Because I don't take the time to say, okay, that didn't work. Let me hang this up. Let me fold this back, which I'm working on that. But if I lived with my man, that would be something that I would be even more conscious of, especially if he brings it to my attention.
Exactly.
Like when I go over my little, house,
it's a shared space.
it's like I want to present myself as a clean, ladylike woman, even if my shit is a little fucked up at the house.
Right.
I'm not gonna be leaving I'm gonna double check. Okay, I took a shower. Let me make sure I wipe down a little bit. Okay, a little drop of hair. Let me get that. Let me make sure I fold my little blanket up. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's just common courtesy and decency. It's respect.
Yeah,
so
like when
I couldn't imagine that.
When I'm over like a man's house or something, like after I use the bed, like I'm gonna put it back together.
Right.
I'm gonna make it
Right.
And so
I think
don't
that's
know, like,
just
just
common. Yeah, I used to, my ex, that was a huge turnoff. Like if he would be at my house and I would leave before him, and then and then I would come back and my bed just looked stupid. It's like, damn. Like, I know we're not at like a hotel and sometimes we're both rushing and we don't have time to make the bed, but you was in here not doing shit. Okay? And it's like, come on, my nigga. You already in my shit. You ain't pushing in on this.
And like sometimes I don't make my bed half the time, but like if I'm using someone else's space, I'm gonna take that.
That is a decent thing to do. Like if I'm at a swoop house and he go to work and I leave a couple hours later, it just feels like, what a little ratchet trick. You just gonna leave the sheets everywhere.
I think her actions weren't like red
like
flaggish.
She didn't mean to?
Yeah, I don't think it was like red flaggish until she started an argument.
Yes.
Now that I would have been like, ooh, I'm gonna reconsider this relationship.
Because it could have very well just been, like you said, a personality kind of disorder or just a thing she's working on.
Yeah, and he says that she does have ADHD.
Yeah.
Did that just turn off?
Yes.
People in the comments are trying to get on him because I guess he does the laundry, and they're like, oh, how do you split other chores? It's like, girl, who cares about the other chores? Pick up your shit.
And I'm talking shit, too, about like, ooh, damn, bitches don't watch laundry. I mean, that's cool, because that could just be his thing. But yeah, be considerate, because it is dope to have a man that's that involved with chores around the house. So you should be rushing to pick up them clothes if it means he's washing them. He probably folding them, too.
Man, to make it easier, like, I have my laundry basket outside. So, like, I don't have to.
Like outside your bathroom.
Like, it's in my room. So, like, if I'm throwing off my clothes, it's going in the basket. Like,
Right,
It's
that's
so
my
that
problem.
simple.
Half of the shit in my dirty clothes ain't even dirty. I just
It's just
didn't
thrown
want to
on
wear
the floor.
it.
Exactly. Exactly. And then you get too tired by the time you want to hang it up or pack up or put it back in your drawers. It's just, but sis, you live with somebody. That gotta change.
Yeah, grow up.
Yeah. That,
She just a little young. That's all.
no, she not.
How old is she?
She is 26.
All right, I be trying to give you.
are.
I be acting like I'm so old because I'm in my 30s. Everybody young, but
No, she
no,
old
girl.
enough.
Because when I was 26, I was even more of a neat freak than I am now. Right now, I gotta zone it back in because I've been all over the place at my house.
Wait, I'm a 21-year-old. I'm still trying to get to that point.
Damn,
But,
you
like-
21, you a little baby.
Yeah, Nick was like, well, how old are you? Are you 24, 25? I was like, you
Oh,
crazy.
you're 21. That's so cute.
Yeah, I'm turning 22.
I love
next
that for
month.
you though, because you're very intelligent.
Thank you.
You don't act like. I mean, I feel like you act like a 21-year-old, but in this society, you act way older because bitches just act like just dingbats. But
A lot of people think I'm older than I am
yeah,
because
you
I
have
just
that.
talk about other
And you're a
shit.
young Trini Aries.
Yes.
Period.
Period. But yeah. I'm glad I'm not at that age yet, actually. But I'm turning 22
You have
next
a lot
month.
of time.
Yeah.
Got your
That's
little
why
baby.
that's why it's kind of harder dating
Mm-hmm.
because
Yes,
my
I can imagine
maturity level is way
that. So,
higher.
20-year-old young man probably be pissing you off because
I don't even entertain
Baby, we got
20-year-olds.
27-year-old young men around here that concern me a lot.
I know, I be hearing that shit because I've dated people who are older and I've dated people who are younger, and they
Mhm.
both not it. So
You gonna have some more kids?
oh, definitely. But I'm gonna be married first.
Okay, so you definitely want to get married.
Definitely want to get married. I'm not popping out no more babies. If I'm not married.
Period.
I need a ring on my finger.
What else you got over there, Doc?
We got one more
Okay.
story. Oh, you're gonna have a field day with this one.
Mm.
Boyfriend 24 male is sweet to me, 24 female in private, but changes his tone in public.
He's sweet to me in private, and he's 24,
Mm-hmm.
and she's 20. Okay,
Both 24.
but he speaks to her differently in private, and then they usually go in detail in the story, right? Okay,
Mhm.
let's hear.
Hi Reddit, I'm not the most eloquent writer, so please bear with me. My boyfriend, 24 male, and I, 24 female, have been together for 2 years. There seem to be many minuscule issues in the relationship, but I do not know if I'm seeing things properly or not. I do not have one long story, just recurring themes, which in turns make this a long post, so sorry. My boyfriend is incredibly sweet and loving in private. Every morning he wakes up and tells me I'm the most beautiful girl in the world, but he seems to just love to put me down a bit in front of others. He refers to my job as a little hobby. I'm a business owner.
Girl, dump him.
Right?
Sorry.
Whenever my friends and I try to dress up cute or sexy, he comments, "What's on your face?" or "Why do you look like that?" More likely than not, he won't even recognize any effort I put in. When I call him out on this, he just says, "Well, I tell you're the most beautiful girl every morning." Then he immediately goes back to being sweet and loving, telling me he's so excited for our future, etc. I feel like he loves to pick fights right before I start my period just so he can say, "Oh, about to start your period. See, I know you so well." This puts me in full rage, of course, as it would any sane, self-respecting woman. He thinks that is so funny and never actually recognizes that this is an issue. He even told me once that I had He even told me that I had to ask him to call me. What the frick?
We got this nigga over here with this fucking rapper anyway. Open the fucking candy, my nigga. Open it. We can hear you. Just go on and open it. Then you might as well go on back where you was anyway, because Mr. fucking Snack, Mr. Debbie looking ass over here.
It's okay. I'm not edit the audio. Whoa.
That's going to be funny, though. You should keep that. Oh, Pro Tool better shut down. Pro Tool better shut Okay, we rolling. Yeah, I saw you. You tried. I appreciate the 5% effort, but nigga,
It's like,
we can hear you.
honestly, it's like when you're not trying to make noise, you make more noise.
He's like,
Wait. Where's that hair coming from?
so much hair. That's your hair.
Damn, right in the front. Okay, so
I want to see your hair straightened. Does it get straight or is it?
yeah, I had my hair straightened like the first.
Maybe you
week.
did.
It's just like this long.
Maybe you did.
To my middle back.
Yeah, it's long now. Shit.
Trying to get it longer. It was down in my butt.
Oh, and you cut it.
Yes. I actually went bald.
Oh, when?
Yeah. When I was like 18.
Look
I
at
went
you. You're just so ahead of your time.
bald and blonde.
This is a 30-year-old, 21-year-old, y'all. She done lived 5 different lives. She done lived more than me. Shit.
Hey, I just be experimenting,
You know?
It's so fun.
Aries.
I think that's just Aries in general. We just gonna
need
try
something new
shit.
and exciting.
Exactly. That's the impulse.
It is.
It's so impulsive.
That's why people love us, though. Some people don't have enough spontaneity in their lives.
Okay, this is where I was left off. He even told me once that I had asked him to call me out when I was being hormonal. I can almost guarantee this conversation never happened, and if it did, it was most likely referring to me crying over videos about dogs or something. When we first got together, I had just gotten out of a very isolating relationship, and many of my friends had moved out the city I lived in. I had no community. So when we started dating, my boyfriend welcomed me into his social scene, and it was great. I made friendships with his friends' girlfriends, and now they're some of my closest people. As time has gone on, I've noticed.
He started whooping her ass, what? Or he going to? I'm sorry. I
No,
don't even
for
wanna
real.
Put that out there, but these are signs of manipulation and abuse.
When it starts out as emotional manipulation, that's when you just need to leave. Especially
when it's what, emotional isolation?
yeah, emotional manipulation, or like even if people are punching walls around you, that's gonna be you soon. You need to leave. I've noticed a common theme whenever I go out with friends. It started casually with things like "How's it going?" to "When it would be done," and switching to him telling me he's bored, lonely, etc. Recently, I've noticed he switches his tone early in the day if he knows I'm going out. He'll complain that he just needs love and has no plans for the night, and what I'm doing sounds like fun. It feels as though he's making a point for me to keep in contact with him while I'm out. Most of the time, if I'm doing something independent from him, it is because a friend of mine invited me to go one of their friends' things, so a stranger I do not know. If I can extend if I extend an invitation to him, I always will. Regardless, this happens if my friend is over watching a movie or I'm just getting dinner with someone. I get the most grief when I go out to bars, yet this man hates going out. Even if I did invite me, he would drag his feet and mention how much he hates being downtown, going to loud places. Our collective friend group doesn't like going out with him because he becomes a misery to everyone around at this point. It just feels like he wants to control me and what I do. This past weekend, I had 2 nights in a row where I had plans without him. I had these plans for quite some time. The second day, he started his shtick about how he needs love and nothing to do that evening. I offered to come by and hug, and what? I offered to come by and him hug multiple times, and he repeatedly turned it down. I went out my way to change my pregame plans so I could stop by where he was. Shocker, he was able to make plans. And when I arrived, he didn't even glance in my direction. He only spoke when he wanted to correct. What? He only spoke when he wanted to correct him or speak over me and my friend.
Ew.
The next day, he said he wanted to talk to me and told me he was feel like I'm gonna beat this man's ass. The next day, he told me he wanted to talk and told me he felt like I was not putting effort into the relationship. I wish a nigga would. I asked for examples, and and what he needed from me, he couldn't give me any answers. I called him out for how cold and callous he's treated me, a common theme when he doesn't get what he wants, and all he could say was, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I don't know how to hide how I feel. I don't think that excuses how he treats me. He still's responsible for his actions. Things are fine and dandy 80% of the time. More than that, they're great. He goes out his way to communicate, ask if there's anything I want to talk about almost every day. I usually say no, only because I know we'll come to no resolution. Because of this, I feel like anything will be blindsiding for him. I do love my boyfriend and would hate to part ways. All these things independently seem like they could be easy enough to work through, but maybe that's just me being blind or avoidant of the bigger issues. I would love if Reddit could provide me with some insight on something
Girl,
I might
you
be
really
missing.
need insight? Do you really?
Absolutely
All she
not.
need to do is read that shit back to herself.
I feel like most of these posts, all you need to do is read it back what you wrote, and you'd
Yeah.
be like,
It's like, all right, you really need me to tell you? For real? How old is she again?
24.
4?
Let me see. Yep, 24.
Damn, so sad that
Sorry,
we've been taking this long to put 1 + 1 is 2. Like, this is easy work here. Some things I be like some things are a little more abstract and you probably can't see it clear. I get it though. When you're dick whipped and you love somebody, you want it to work. Sometimes you do just need to hear the simplest things.
Remember how like earlier in our conversation with the question that came with you, remember how it's like, how some people do nice things for you and or they can compliment you, but it doesn't excuse their actions. She said that in her post. Like she said it doesn't excuse he's responsible for his actions.
Yeah.
But maybe she's like, well, it's dandy 80% of the time, but do you deserve 80%? Do you want 80%?
Yeah, because it's like,
what do you
want?
What do you want exactly?
And
this is only gonna get worse
because it's like it's a lot. It's a lot out here, bro.
This is gonna
Look
get
around
worse.
and move around, bro. It's a lot out here,
and
I mean for everybody.
You're 2 years into the relationship. I feel like that is a great time for y'all to just
it's past time, babes. 2 years is too long.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just the first trait, the speaking to me sweetly in private and not out. That's already the red flag that you needed. The very first thing.
I think that started recently.
Oh, okay.
I think it started recently, but because that's why I was saying like 2 years. Like you should have things outside of each other in any relationship. I feel like that's normal. That's healthy. You don't want to be up on your partner 24/7.
Yeah.
Plus, it gets boring like that. I want to come to you and be like, guess what? Me and my girl are going to like, like.
And you're going to bite each other head off because you just bombarding each other.
Yeah.
And giving no room to breathe.
Ugh. I don't like this. This gives me. This is an actual ick, y'all. This is an actual ick. Controlling.
What?
Being controlling. Like
controlling, smothering, insecurity, manipulation, crybaby, victim, gaslighting.
It's so weird.
It's weird. It's weird.
I think he's just like an attention seeker because.
And some people, honestly, they really don't have the emotional experience or intelligence to even know what to do with a good thing. A lot of it just be self-sabotage because we're so used to seeing a certain thing and thinking it's love. You might have saw your mama and daddy interact in a certain way, and then you subconsciously start behaving in those ways.
I'm really glad I got aware of that really early. Ooh. That's going to be a different
It's
topic.
a lot of things that I saw as a kid or did not see that affect the way I date or the way that I'm guarded or the way that I don't know how to receive, the way that I feel like I need to do everything. I don't know how to receive too much. It makes me uncomfortable. For a while, I didn't know how to be affectionate in a certain way or communicative in a certain way because it just was like so different and it just makes you feel like a loser. It's like, but when you realize that's trauma or that's not normal and you deserve these things,
I think my biggest part was I didn't know the emotional sides of things of like love or sex, and so my kind of downfall was equating sex to love and the things that I went through in my childhood. And when you equate sex to love, like you're gonna fuck yourself up. I promise you that.
I could feel that.
If you ever feel like a sex doll, there's your answer. You're not being loved the way you should be.
Or it starts off feeling like love, and then it's slowly just like, all right, bye.
Yeah. Like, it's just, you're not even making love anymore. It's just, let me get my nut off.
Were you ever making love?
Ooh, that's a good question. Were you ever? Ooh. Yeah, this girl needs to run.
She need to run quick.
Top comment says, at this point, it just feels like he's trying to control me and what I do. Yes, this is correct. This man very clearly has insecurity issues and deals with it by trying to keep you under his thumb. Wants you to feel beautiful when it's just you and him, but when you leave the bubble and put in effort to look cute, he wants you to feel insecure. Throws a temper tantrum if you dare have plans without him, especially if other men will be there. Punishes by withholding affection if you do something he disapproves of. Girl, run.
Run for the hills. Yeah, I could talk all the shit I want to, but I've definitely been dumb and blind in situations
We all
with
been
people
there.
that I loved and I wanted to make it work. So I don't want to, got to catch myself. I can't be too judgy. But I don't know. Some of these things is like, is this for real?
I think there's like things now like I certainly would not put up with. Like you just come right, come correct, or don't come at all. I actually had this person tell me recently, they're like, I feel like if we were to get in a relationship, this is what they told me. They said, I feel like if we were to get in a relationship or something, like, I need to give you 100%. I can't just half-ass a relationship with you. I was like, you damn right, because I ain't not the one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the energy you exude, y'all. Like,
Yeah. I'm gonna say a little silent prayer for those young ladies. Cause she sounds like a sweet girl. I don't even know her, but I'm pretty sure she's a cool chick. He probably love her so much too in his own weird way, and just want to go like this. But he got some things he need to work on too.
oh my God, I had like one of my guy friends tell me, this is so toxic. But I was like, he's like, oh, I don't care if this makes me a narcissist. I'm like, nigga, you are a narcissist, because what the fuck is this? He was basically like, I want to manipulate girls where, like, I'm the only person they care about and the only person they think of. And I'm like,
You want them to be obsessed with you? You think you
yes.
do, but you don't. You
And I was
do
like,
until that shit get old.
and I guess he got cheated on or whatever. I was just like, nigga,
He just insecure.
you go get therapy. What the fuck is
Yeah, have you
going
seen
on?
The Craft?
No, what's that?
Damn, he's so young. So it's 3 young ladies who practice witchcraft, and they need a 4th member.
Mm-hmm.
And this new chick comes to the school, and they're like, she the one, y'all. She kind of weird. They be on their gothic shit. And so they start kicking it, and now that they have their 4th complete member of the craft or the circle, they can now start putting their shit to practice that they've been, like, studying on
Mm-hmm.
for a while. So they go into the bookstore, they saying their little chants, they going to the beach, they bonding, and so they finally get in their bag. They get into their witch bags, and now they're, like, successfully casting spells on
Oh,
niggas.
shit.
One of them is, like, obsessed with this dude at her school, and she puts something on him so that he is obsessed with her now. And that was, like, the worst mistake she made, because at first it's, like, flattering and it's cute, and she's doing shit like got him following her around school, holding all her books, just super simping. And everybody's like, what has gotten into him? Because he's, like, one of the finest dudes in the school.
Mm-hmm.
And it's making her super popular, all this shit, until it's, like, not cool no more. And then it's creepy. It's like he's popping up at her house.
Oh, hell
He
nah.
won't leave her alone. And he's like, like fiending. He's like, the look in his eyes, like, please look, it gets, like, so pathetically thirsty that it's like she not even into this nigga no more. And then
But she caused that.
Right. I think it gets to the point where I don't remember if she's able to take it off of him or she reverses it, or I don't remember what happens.
I don't believe in witchcraft,
Maybe I
but I
need to
do
watch.
believe in manifestations. But even still,
Mhm.
like, I like to, learn, like, hear about it. It's fun to, like, just know about it. But when you put spells on somebody, isn't it, like, 10 times more powerful because you're not supposed to put that spell on somebody?
Maybe. I don't know. But, you have some cultures where that shit is very normal. I was talking to this guy, this African guy that I met, and he was talking about that witchcraft, and he feels like his dad's new wife put something on him when his dad left his mom. Like, it's a big thing in their community. And they have the neighborhood person. I forgot what the name is of the person that you go to get your items and to seek, like, he's the person you go to and you're like, hey, look, I'm trying to do X, Y, Z. He like, all right, this is what you're going to do. I forget what that's called. I don't know. Sorcerers. I don't know. Don't give me the line, but
I think it's fine when it's not negative.
it's so common in that
intentions.
culture that it's like, and I'm like, well, how do you protect yourself? And he's like, you just stay prayed up. He was talking about how his family and him are so spiritual. They pray a lot. They're a very tight knit group, so he just feels like they a little bit more protected.
My thinking is similar to that. So it's like, if someone's wishing down, like, on you, I can kind of feel that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when people are just overly negative, overly pessimistic about life, like,
mm-hmm.
ooh, your energy is rubbing me the wrong way,
Mhm.
like something's not right. And I noticed that when I surround myself around people like that, my energy starts to come down.
And a lot of times we're the demise to our own chaos. The peace, the very peace we're just so desperately searching for is within us, and we're just looking everywhere but inside for that shit. And it's just
I
like,
always say the person you probably seek is within you.
yeah,
Because
for sure.
9 times out of 10, the things you want in a partner is they're gonna want the same thing in return.
And if you don't find that, you're so limited to what you can give. It's so crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
But this was the episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. It's probably about like an hour and a half long.
Shit, we I don't know now. Shit, we've been talking, but yeah,
We was
this was fun.
talking.
We're going to chop it up. You don't got to watch the whole thing. But thanks for having me on.
Of course.
You got to check out my music, too.
Yeah, tell everyone where to find you at.
Yes. Miss Korchak is my Instagram, and my Twitter, MISSKORCHAK. Kyra Korchak, of course, is my artist name, and my EP that is out is called Boulevard Blues. I got a couple singles as well. Also working on what's to come. So in the meantime, get caught up on that and tell me what you think.
Yeah, you guys go give Kyra all the support and love.
Please. I don't got no money to pay for the listens. You got to actually go listen to it. Exactly.
But also, if you find her from this podcast, post on Instagram, whatever, make sure to give Kyra a shout out, everything. Let her know that you listen to the music.
Yeah.
But
I would
everything
love
will
that.
be linked in the description below. I hope you enjoyed. Happy Valentine's Day again, and we'll see you next week.
Let me call my man. Bye.
And in honor of Nia, mic drop. Bye.
People who say that this isn't any business of the President of the United States. And